favorite video of the month. It's colored pages for November. I thought that I would start off with what I have as works in progress and then move on to my finished pages. November has been a rather busy month for us. December is not looking any quieter. And it's just that time of the year with anniversaries, birthdays, Christmas, wrapping things up for the end of the year in work and other areas. So it is really manic at the moment. And throw in Christmas presents and Christmas shopping and decorations and all of that. It gets really busy, but I am really pleased with what I have been able to color, and some of it is coming along really nicely, and other bits I'm not so happy about, but you know, that's the journey of coloring. We ebb and we flow, and not everything that we color is going to be amazing, but that's okay. So I'm going to clear my desk and I'm going to show you my current whips. And none of these whips are old whips, these are all brand new whips, but I'm going to show them to you, and let's have a look. So first up we have Knoka Igusa. Now I have a whip in here. I started this a couple of months ago, and then I just panicked and froze, but I've come back to it, and I think the intimidation of her beautiful illustrations is starting to ease, which is a good thing. So here I have this gorgeous spread, and I worked a bit on the sky, night sky, and I've done a bit on the book, and I'm busy working on the duvet. So I thought if I add green duvet and maybe like make these middle pieces gold or very light white, it will look really lovely. So I'm still piecing it together, but it's progress, and at least I haven't completely given up. So yeah, I'm glad to be doing this one, and I think I'm going to try and do a few winter pages in here as well. So that's Knoka Igusa's Kingdom of Curious Creatures, better known as Minuet de Bonheur. And then I have another whip in Garden of Fairy Tale Animals by Knoka Igusa, more commonly known as Rhapsody in the Forest. And this is a page I have been coloring on my live streams. So if you are interested in coloring along, do go check them out. They are under the playlist for Knoka Igusa coloring. And we did this page. So far it's been in two parts. The second part we worked on acorns and on the branches and the chipmunks here. And I've tried to add some fur texture so they look a little bit more animal-like. So yeah, it's coming along really lovely. I think if I add some very dark greens and make it kind of lighten out as we go out, it should look really lovely. And if I add a very light wooded background on the house, I think it could look quite good. So yeah, I'm still working on this. I've got leaves to finish, acorns to finish off camera, but yeah, it just gives you an idea of this fall inspired page. So that is my whip in Garden of Fairy Tale Animals, or Rhapsody in the Forest by Knoka Igusa. Next up is Fragile World by Kirby Rosanas. Now I am busy doing a color along series in this book. I'm still recording all the parts and editing the videos. As soon as they are complete, I will be uploading them. But here is a sneak preview into what you can expect to be coloring with me very soon. So I've done base layer on the rocks with ink tints. I've used chalk pastels for the sky, and then Prismacolors for the penguins. So I will be showing you how I am coloring here, and it's a first for me to color penguins. So yeah, very grateful for the texture that Kirby Rosanes has put in his books. It really helps a lot to know where are the dark bits and where are the light bits. So I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm looking forward to giving you the series. So stay tuned for that. So that was Fragile World by Kirby Rosanes. So moving on to my completed pages, I have for you November's coloring page in the flower year, which I have filmed. I'm still busy on the editing bit, so I am very late for that. But I also have a whip in here, which I have also been working on filming for you. Again, I'm still a bit stuck on the editing, but it's this page. So I filmed a bit more of the leaves, but as you can see, we're not done with that yet. And then we'll move on. So this one's going quite slowly, but I'm confident it will get there. I have got some holiday coming up towards the middle of the month of December, so I'm hoping in that time I'll be able to do a bit more filming. So fingers crossed. As far as the completed page, which you will get soon, it is this one, which is Buried Virginia Creeper. So I used chalk pastels in the background, polychromos, and some white Sakura Jelly Roll. Nothing really fancy. And I'll pull up here for you my inspirational photo, and you can see. I used a terracotta in the leaves, but I actually think that if you use a cream, it will look a lot softer. It might give a more soft feel and a bit more closer to the original picture. So I have put that as an option for you in the video, which I'm hoping to publish quite soon. So yeah, I used my Derwent my Derwent eraser, and I just erased some white spots into the chalk just to create a slight bokeh effect. I mean, it's not really bokeh because it's not very built up the background, but you know, it just gives it a little bit more of a different look. So that is what I've colored in The Flower Year, a coloring book by Layla Doody. And I really do enjoy this book. It's really lovely. But I am getting a bit bored using polychromos in it, so I might do December's page in Prismacolors. But if you are interested in the polychromos options, I will link it in the description of that video for you. But do let me know in the comments below, so I can make sure I give you that. Next up, we have some whips that I have completed. So in Cutesy Christmas Special, I'm just going to pull you out a bit. So in Coloring Heaven's Cutesy Christmas Special, I had 2 more whips. I have decided that the one whip I'm not going to actually complete. It's this one. I've been playing around with some markers just to get a better feel for them. My one child did that one, and yeah, I decided that the advent calendar is not really my thing, so it doesn't inspire me at all. I actually feel rather uninspired. I just really couldn't be bothered. But yeah, you can see where I've been using alcohol markers. And I was experimenting with snow and alcohol markers, which I actually think has worked out quite well. So that is an interesting option for you. If you do have books where you want to use alcohol markers for snow, if you get the right combination, I think it does look quite effective. But you need to be able to blend it out a bit. So my next whip, which I completed, was this beauty. And this illustration is by Luring Lass art. So this is called the Christmas Flower Girl. And yeah, I really wanted to keep a limited palette, so I stuck to reds and greens with a bit of gold. I was trying to pick up the reddish gold here and the oranges in the star, so I brought in rose gold foil just to add different texture. I put Dovecraft glitter glue on her hair and the halo around the star. And I used distress inks in the background, which is why it's a little bit fuzzy over here. It's not great. And I really didn't enjoy the leaves. I need to practice coloring holly leaves a bit more. I got quite bored with them. They didn't grab me. I didn't like the way they came out, but you know, it's the first time I've really colored in holly leaves and tried to do them a bit realistic, and you know, practice makes perfect, so I definitely need more practice. But I like the colors and I like the sparkle and, you know, trying different things in the background. So, oh, and I use Spectrum North Sparkle pen on her dress here. Don't know if you can see it if I move it across in the light like that. I was trying to go for a bit of a Tinkerbell kind of look. So that is my Christmas Flower Girl in Colouring Heavens, a cutesy Christmas special. So this book is done. I've got no more whips in here, except for the advent calendar, which I'm not going to include. And then we had a gorgeous book come around, the Christmas Gnome special. I absolutely love gnomes, especially the cute gnomes that you see in the Christmas stores. So Mariella Budek's pictures were just very inspirational, and I did you a quick color along series. We used Polychromos pencils and Dovecraft glitter glue, and I think that's it really. Decided not to do anything in the background because I actually didn't know what else to do, but I really like how he came out. I worked on giving him really dark black hair. Usually my black hair turns out a bit more grey. So I like that he has a nice rich full beard of black hair. But I love the effect I got on her hair. I think she has the best hair I've coloured in a while. So yeah, if you have this book and would like to colour it with me, Polychromos is what we used. So that is Gnomes in Love by Mariella Budek in the Christmas Gnomes special. Then I did another whip in Gracia Salvo's Wild Soul colouring book. Now I am going to tell you about this paper because it is horrific. It really is. I had such a nightmare with this paper. I went onto Amazon and I had a look in the description, and this is what I wrote down off the description of this book. So the paper quality is Amazon KDP 100 GSM. They claim it to be high quality printing with a medium thickness paper. Now, that's all great, except for one thing. If I can find my page. Oh. Sorry guys, I took the tag out. There we go. Okay, so she's gorgeous, and I love the dog's fur. I think it really came out quite well. But man, I had such trouble with this page. So here's what I found. Polychromos pencils are no go. They slide, they don't stick, it's horrendous, it's a nightmare, I don't like it. I hope that if you have the same paper and the same Amazon edition book, that you have better luck with Polychromos than what I have. I will not use them on this paper unless I copy the image onto Bristol board or something like that. Prismacolor Premier worked so much better. I could do a lot more layers. So I used a Chris Cheng video for the skin. Now she hasn't colored this image, but I went to her videos for this image here, and I think she did this girl here, one of the girls, she did a specific skin color, so I used that and the hair, the black hair, as a interpretation, and I put that on the girl. But then the rest I colored by myself. I used polychromos on the leaves and it wasn't working very well, so I tried Prismacolors on the leaves, but because of the poly layer it wasn't working that great. I tried putting alcohol markers over it, and as you can see, it bled through in some areas but not in others. So the alcohol marker didn't really help much, and I decided I wasn't going to try and build up all the leaves. They would just have, it would just be what it is. And I did Prismacolor on the fur for the dog, and I fared so much better with that. I used white Sakura Jelly Roll and Uniball Signo pen for the highlights in the eyes, on the dress, on the dog, and on his nose. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased with how she turned out. I'm not sure if the definition of her facial features needed a bit more work, but considering it's a grayscale and you can just follow the grayscale, I think it's turned out really lovely, and I'm very pleased with it. And this whip is now complete, which means I have completed 2 books this month out of my list of whips. So it's what I've done in Grazia Salvo's Wild Soul by Coloring Book on Amazon, the Amazon edition. Then next up we have the Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Klett. And I completed the Gnomes and the Snowman. So this was a pleasure to color. The paper really is suited for mixed media, watercolor based medium as well. I did this Galaxy Sky as a tutorial for you on the channel using Neocolor 2s and white gel pens and white Posca pen. I used Ohuhu markers for the tree, the snow on the treetop, most of the snowman. I used Prismacolor Premier pencils. I also have a tutorial showing you how I did that. For the snowman's hat, scarf, the gnome girls, I used Marco Raffine, which worked relatively okay on this paper. I did find either I was using too hard a pressure, or the paper just ate up the pencil quite a lot quickly, and I didn't need to layer 1,000 layers on. It took maybe 2 or 3 layers and I was done. So that made for quick coloring. So I'm not sure yet how I feel about the Marco Raffine pencils. I used Stuffcraft 3D Pearl effects on the hats and the trimmings, so all the trimmings on the clothes and the hats. I used glitter gel pen on the buttons and white Sakura Jelly Roll. I used some glitter pen on the rose on the hats and on the these things here by the hat and the shoes and the bells. So, and then for the snow, I think I used Neocolor 2s, and then I just blended it out. I may have gone over it a bit with pencil as well, but I can't really remember. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I'm glad that it's happy. I'm not too sure about the outfits for the gnomes. I think I need to think that through a bit more for my next page. But I really did enjoy using the Dovecraft pearl effects for the trimmings of the hat. I think it adds a different texture, and I don't have to sit and work at getting the same texture or a different texture with pencil. So it was really a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing another snow video for you, hopefully soon. So that is what I've done in Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Klets. Next up is Creative Haven's Enchanted Christmas coloring book by Teresa Goodrich. I just remembered I have started this page. So this is one of my whips. I've just started this page, and yeah, I'm using Prismacolors. I like using Prismacolors on this paper, sorry. And then I was experimenting with a different variety of green combos. So that's my current whip, but I do have one completed page, which is this page. As you can see, it's torn out. So for the baubles, I followed a tutorial by Color with Claire. For the stars, inside the stars, I used some glitter gel pen. For the ribbons, I use glitter gel pen. Over here is all glitter, and over there, so all the trimmings are with glitter. I based most of the page with watercolor, so the sky, I think the leaves, yeah, pretty much everything except the birds and the baubles was based in watercolor. And I do think that basing your pages in watercolor does change the texture of the paper, so it does give you a bit more tooth. I used Helen Elliston's colorist special effects books for the snow on the roof, and then I did the birds on my own using a few reference photos. And then I used white Uniball Signo pen and white Sakura Jelly Roll to do the highlights on the snow and to create like snow falling down. So I am very, very pleased with how this has turned out. I think for the stars, I also used a tutorial. I think it was the color special effects. But I can't remember. Or I just followed the shape, one of the two. I might have adapted what I learned with the baubles and tried to interpret it into the stars. So yeah, so I really like how it's turned out. I love that it's quite festive and nature-based. I think and I'm quite pleased with how my cardinal turned out. It's my first time coloring a cardinal. I need more practice with birds, but overall I don't think they're too bad. So yeah, very pleased with how this one has turned out. So that's what I've colored in Enchanted Christmas coloring book by Teresa Goodrich. Then last but not least, I have Mythographic Paradise by Fabiano Attanasio, and I am just absolutely loving this book. So much so that I went and bought Magical Earth by Joseph Kattenbang, and I've also ordered the Frozen Fantasies book by Fabiano Attanasio, because I'm just really loving the variety of ways to color in these books. So I'm also really enjoying using Inktense pencils as a base. So I really just, every time I'm finished, I just want to keep coming back and coloring more. So let me show you my completed whip. So I started this page last month, and I finished it early in the month, the 2nd of November. And I'm so pleased with this page. I really, it's one of those ones where when you're on this coloring journey and you're trying new things and you've learned so much, and then you face something totally new and you have this out of the norm idea, and it works. It's just such an incredible feeling. So I used Inktense pencils for the background. I used Prismacolor pencils for everything else. And I wanted to create my daffodils to be, you know, that rich yellow trumpet with the light petals. And the background and the color palette was very, very clear to me from the beginning. I did give you a tutorial on some of the crystals. I do apologize that the logo for my videos was in the way when we did these ones. I also did a unicorn horn tutorial for you. And I tried to bring in the white highlights onto the horse or the unicorn so that it would just add some dimension. It would reflect some of the lighting. It would also bring in the yellow from the daffodils. I really loved everything about this page. I had so much fun. And then when I was done, I was so inspired, I decided to come and color this page. And again, I used Inktense pencils for the background, and I had a very, very clear idea. I wanted to do gold. I wanted to make my ship look like it was Peter Pan's ship, and at the end of all the Peter Pan movies where Peter Pan and the Lost Boys are taking Wendy, James and John back to their home in England, and the ship is flying because of all the pixie dust. So I tried to sparkle up the ship with Dovecraft glitter glue to create that pixie dust effect, which looks so much better in the light. And I wanted to create more of a experiment with the stars. So instead of using pens to create circles as stars, I took a sponge and white paint and I just dabbed it on. And I quite like how it looks. I think it works on this page, but it's definitely a technique you can use to create wave splash. The clouds are inspired by the green aurora borealis. So I really was going for that kind of effect. And then I wanted a gold building. So I tried to tie everything in together and keep it balanced. And yeah, I'm very pleased with how it's came out. I glued on stars in some places and used glitter gel pens for the rest of the stars. So that is my completed pages in the beautiful Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Atanasio. So everyone, that is what I've colored in the month of November. I'm really, really pleased with myself. I think it's been a good month, and I'm excited for December. So I hope to do a lot more coloring, especially Christmas ones, snow, winter themes, that kind of stuff. So do let me know what you thought in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, please do like, subscribe, comment below, as it helps support my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Bye for now.